What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Apologies for our technical difficulties. We are all the way on mountain time. We're way out in the middle of nowhere. And we are by the pool. As you can see, we're by the pool. You know what I'm saying? So we just be patient with us. Work with us. We on vacation. This is like y'all cutting in my vacation time. All right. So listen, I ran into an AI CEO headed to Colombia. He was just like, you don't understand. Dr. Dixie's like, AI is gonna be the changer. And I was like, what do you mean? AI technology. He's like, no. It ain't the way like we use when we say tech for everything for a lot of these tech companies. He's like, he's like, people gonna be unemployed. He's like, you gotta come to work with full focus and energy because they're gonna be looking for ways to cut people, right? Everybody want to check, but everybody want to stay home, right? That's the biggest thing that has come out of the pandemic is everybody want to check and everybody wants to that ain't it ain't gonna equate. Somebody's gonna have to play musical chairs here. And so as I'm talking to him on the airport, I'm just like, when you coming back to the United States, He's like, never. He's like, I just go to Austin to visit my friends, stop and visit people in New York. And the biggest part of his conversation was he worked for older Jewish people in New York for years. And when he started coming up on this new technology, hey, we can do this better. We can do accounting better. We can do all this math better. They looked at him like he had three heads. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna use this new tech because that gives Jeremiah a job in accounting. That gives this other person a job. So if you see he's working with older Jewish guys and they're gonna make sure their people have jobs, even if it's redundant, they're gonna make sure their people have jobs. And then he's telling them this new technology, and they're like, yeah, but we've been getting money this way for hundreds of years. It's fine. So he had to literally say, yeah, okay, I'm out. I'm gonna go start this company and sell these services to thousands of companies. And a lot of times what people don't understand is when I talk about you don't need 10 million people to buy your products and services. You don't even need 10,000. If you got 1,000 people paying $500, you in a great position. And people are missing out on that part. So again, AI is going to be a game changer. And we had some articles that Dr. Dix would like to bring in. But first, introduce yourself to the audience, Dr. Dix.
Hello, this is Dr. Patrick Dix from South Carolina. Y'all have seen me on Ericka's channel for numerous times. Ericka and I started doing streams actually 2 years ago, February 2021, and I was talking about artificial intelligence back then eliminating jobs. I've done quite a bit of consultations. I appreciate to the people that reached out to me, and this technology is going to change the world forever. So if you want to book a consultation with me, I put the link in the StreamYard studio so Ericka can post it. But this is life altering. I'm creating a presentation that I have to do for the Chamber of Commerce the 25th of this month, and I'm discovering new things about education, payroll, HR management, manufacturing. That this is life altering. I'm just gonna say it like that.
If you guys didn't notice that there was a lawsuit going on right now with Drake and several artists because people been using AI to help mash up music and put it on YouTube. Now, if you don't know, again, everybody here is not a YouTube business person and some of them don't care. But first, drop your CD and say in the chat because I need to hear it, right? I need to see where y'all coming from today. Um, what happened is Drake is suing because Drake is like, hey, like you're letting an AI non-live person remix my song and put it on YouTube and make money because that's the ticket, right? A lot of YouTube is if the song is changed a percentage amount of however much the song has changed, that person who's uploading to YouTube can be paid for the plays. And so Beyonce, you name it, the artist right now, Taylor Swift, there have been people remixing the songs and been using it with the help of AI. And so when it comes to suing them, it's like, well, how can you sue me because it's an AI robot mixing it? And so there's been this, a lot of kerfuffle on the internet, but this is serious because it takes away. I mean, one of the stars that's in The Mandalorian, it was like, well, yeah, you guys can use my voice after I die as long as my children are paid. Bruce Willis has even inked a deal where, yeah, y'all can use my likeness and voice via AI to finish these movies because one, Bruce Willis needs the money. Two, he has dementia and he has other issues where he's just forgetting on set, forgetting words, forgetting whole phrases. You know what I mean? And so they're already making plans in music and in TV for AI, but yet you're sitting here trying to argue with me about why you shouldn't get more education, why you shouldn't get more training, why you should switch jobs. This is something where you're telling people, if you just came out of high school and you never read another book and you never did anything else and you never picked up another trait, you're in a dangerous position.
Very dangerous. We have to stop too in our community telling people they don't need a degree. I see a lot of people still talking about you can make it off certs. People, you're not going to make it off certs. You're not going to make it. Please. I am a professor. I've been doing it for 9 years. Your competition is international students. You cannot make it in this world unless you have some kind of blue collar training or white collar training and certificates. To be a part of the future, hold up, I actually coined this is as a matter of fact, in the people in America, this is what you're going to be left doing. You're either going to be building America or you're going to be maintaining America. Those are your two choices for the rest of your life. From here on out, you're either helping build America or you're helping maintain it. And Ericka stream yesterday, you were talking about science and math. That goes into the point of science and math. Because even the blue collar people are going to have to learn about technology because a lot of the machines they use have computers and other things in them. But right now is a very, very, I say, destitute time for a lot of people because we're at a fork in the road. And when this stuff picks up, it's going to be no laughing matter. Y'all are going to be dying and begging to try to find people like myself and all the tech people that come on Ericka's channel, even Ericka herself, to say, we need help. We're like, it's too late. You should have talked to us about 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, we're past the whole like, oh, let me help you learn. Like, no, you either at a position in America right now where you know you need to get some training, you know you need to get some sort of search. Now listen, I bring on lots of people. You can the certs can get you in the door, but this is what I'm telling you: the certs can get you in the door, but it's going to be hard to keep you in the door. Right now, why am I saying that? Because companies have the makeup of a company is its intellectual capacity. So if they say, "Hey man, we got 100 people on the floor working for us, man," well, how many of them are college educated? Oh, like 20. How many got certs? 80. Right. So companies are trying to compete with other companies and saying, "Oh, we have 10 Ivy League persons over here. We have 20 college educated people." Like companies are always trying to show their intellectual capacity. So that's why companies will pay for you to get a degree. Right?
Yeah,
So if you have the certs, no problem. Get your foot in the door. But they're going to be sending you to some trainings. Like you have to really like I've been in too many conferences where the people are like, "Oh yeah, you can force your people to go to training." Like the guys don't care that you're going to have to spend nights and weekends at different conferences getting your skill level up because they're your employee. They're paying your
yeah.
bills.
And the other thing is too, somebody in the chat said you need skills. A degree does not get you skill. I said, okay, a degree shows that you can start something and finish it. I'm gonna just be real right now. And all of the schools I teach at, guess what group of people I do not see in the classes? Black men. Yes, I went there today. I am tired of black men always in the chat. You don't need it. And we are the least represented group in STEM classes. No, y'all are not in the classes. There are black females in the class, there are white men, and there are international students. Y'all are not in the classrooms, and then y'all want to complain about you don't have any money. People, please go somewhere with that. You're not going to make it with that kind of mindset. You're not going to cheat the game of life anymore. That's why we're the laughing stock of America with thought processes like that.
So JB, they're basically when you interact business to business, which is B2B, and companies try to get major accounts. I'm talking about $1 million accounts, multi-million-dollar accounts. They cannot come to that company and say, "Hey man, we got this startup with 10 guys, all of them college dropouts, no certificates, no degrees." They're not going to be able to compete with other companies that are going to sit here and say, "Oh, we have this many Ivy League, this have this many trainers, this many." It's a skill capacity thing, right? When you're comparing two companies, it's like this girl's got, let's just go basic. If y'all don't understand what I'm going basic, this girl got 3 kids and she got a job and she take care of herself. This girl got 1 kid and got a job and take care of herself. Overall, you're gonna go, "I'm gonna go with the girl with 1 kid because 3 is a lot." It's very much a comparison game when it comes to companies getting these larger corporate contracts. Now, can you come out here and let me be very clear? Y'all gonna about to hate me again. I have to do it. Can you come out here, start a company, and get 250K a year? Fuck yeah, you can do it. You can do it right now. You can do it this year. But at the end of the day, that you will be limited. Why? Your intellectual capacity and who's on your team. Can you, a one person, one man band, make money? Yes, that's the beauty of America. But when you're talking about millions of dollars, when you're talking about bankrolling, you're talking about closing multiple accounts, huge number of accounts. It's not like that.
Yes,
Do you know what I'm saying?
it's
It's two different things, right?
hmm yes. There are a lot of things. Education, even if it's a basic business degree, you could have the skill. As long as you have the skills and have say, "Hey, I have a business degree," it gets you into the door with people. So we like to fight and complain about that, but all of that is about to be tested. Everybody's about to render unto Caesar. We're really about to see who wins. That's all I'll say about that and leave it at that. We can continue to argue about it, but the data and the statistics state you are not going to make it without an education. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you guys, like, a lot of the way the upper echelon is working. How do you get a referral in some of these tech companies? It's somebody they went to college with. It's someone they did business with. It's one of those things that's very heavily connected. And JB, if you want to keep listen, if you want to keep arguing, throw a super chat in here. But if not, I'm gonna mute you because you're doing too much.
Yeah.
You're doing way too much. Okay.
Yeah.
This whole college is outdated. There's something they like to give you guys on the internet because they have to figure out how to explain the nepotism, right? What is the nepotism? If Bill Gates and all these other people people who are owning these companies let their children come and work, they go, oh, well, degrees aren't important. But you missed the important part of that. That's that their children. That's their family members. They can do that because they own these companies.
Yeah. Oh,
You don't own these companies.
you probably need to mute him. Y'all misleading black folks. Okay. But anyways, and none of
There you
us are
go.
in.
Welcome to the Block Mentor. Look, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we've been doing this for over 3 years. We've been having Tech Tuesdays where countless people come on and say, hey, man, get this training, get this cert. But if you listen to every single person we bring on for Tech Tuesdays, the last 3 years, what have they said? They've all said the same thing. You're going to have to keep studying, keep training, keep educating yourself. Every single guest we've ever had on, Tamika, all of them. Yeah, you can get your foot in the door with the cert. You can get on in, but you will still do what? Have to train, have to educate yourself. When you want to make more money and switch jobs, you got to prove that you can do the job.
hmm
This is the stuff people don't want to hear.
Yeah, you got to get the degree and the certs. It's good to have both. Even the blue collar people, they can have certs, but they eventually going to have to get some form of like a 2 year degree to say, hey, man, I took a business class. I have this. It helps you out to understand how things work. But they've been preaching that during the pandemic. Companies are taking away education. Y'all know the other groups and other nationalities. I know people from a lot of nationalities. I never heard them say that. It's only us. And that's why we're at the bottom of the totem pole.
Well, we're always looking for the shortcut to get in the door. Like, let me just get in the door. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is something to our American history, our American struggle. But a lot of times you're talking to them, hey, what you been doing the past 5 years? Nothing. From 18 to 30, they ain't been doing nothing but chilling, part-time working, relax. So now they wake up at 30 to 35. Oh yeah, I want to make all this money. But you haven't done anything. You haven't put any of this time in. You ain't even bothered to get a 2 year degree in something, a trade.
During the pandemic, Ericka, during the pandemic, you could have easily did that. Anybody, I said this in one of my videos, for about 18 to 24 months, the Trump administration and the Biden administration send out bukus of money. If you had no education, y'all, you could have almost went to school and debt free because so much money was coming. And I just want to ask people, how you gonna come up with $8,000 to $10,000 a month without these kind of credentials? But like Bob says, if you want to work internationally, you can't go to these other groups. That's why, I might even do a video or do a live chat on that about that, live something. But let's go to the article about Walmart and all that other stuff.
Well, this one is about Walmart announcing this week 65% of their stores will be serviced by automation by 2026. The
Yeah.
company US CEO said over time we believe we'll have the same or more associates. Really, what they mean less. Walmart is the largest company's largest private employer with 1.6 million workers in the United States. Now, here's the funny part, and I'm being careful. Even though Walmart has 1.6 million workers and it's one of the largest employers, you can go in multiple towns and there's a ton of people working at what? Smaller other businesses in transportation and logistics, service in Costco, Sam's Club, all these other ones, right? You also have to think about they have 4,700 stores throughout the United States, right? If they're telling 65% of their stores will be serviced by automation, what does that cover? Does that cover fulfillment store centers that cover the floor cleaning? Right. They had a pilot system in Salem, New Jersey. Right. They also acquired a company in 2022 called Alert Innovation, a robotics company. Again, these companies are going to figure out one or two things. Is it cost efficient for me to send you to training, educate you, invest time in you? How many years am I going to have you at my job?
Mhm.
Again, Starbucks sent all these people to college. Why is Starbucks paying for all these people to go to college? One, once some of these people go to college, one Walmart can say, "Oh, we have all these college educated degree people. We paid for it. Cool, tax write offs." Secondly, a lot of those people will move themselves out of Starbucks' system. Right? Starbucks has a lot of people arguing for $15 and we need to be paid more and all this stuff. No worries. They're sliding y'all out the door because you're going to be college educated and you should be applying for other type of positions. This is a
Mhm.
twofold thing. This is, again, these companies are acquiring companies to help save them millions and billions of dollars in the future, right?
Mhm.
People aren't
Exactly.
trying to hear this stuff, but this
Yeah,
is what's
and
happening.
y'all know in one of the articles, Walmart says stated. I don't know if I sent Erica this article, but by 2026, they have to increase their sales by 100, productivity and sales by 130 billion dollars. In the state of Texas, y'all, I did a news thing with Isaiah on Unfounded. Yeah, I think this was his name. I can't remember his name, but I discovered Walmart is the biggest employer in the state of Texas. There's 176,000 people that work for Walmart. If they automate 65% of the jobs, that means over 70 plus $1,000 people, 70 plus thousand people at Walmart that work in Texas will not have a job. That's where we're heading. Walmart needs productivity. Like Erica was just talking about, Starbucks, $15 an hour. I even wrote about that in my research. When people are yelling for a high minimum wage, it is a catalyst to automate everything. Automation is coming for everything. Small towns are just going to be completely wiped out because they don't have any local tax dollars. So when you think about the work gap we're about to even have a workforce gap because once all the baby boomers leave or they die, we have a 15 to 20-year work gap and people are just not having kids right now. So we're about to have even bigger problems because there's nobody to replace people. My parents had three of us. The average baby boomer had at least 3 to 7 kids or 3 to 10. That's why, a lot of people had all those kids, but the average family now has one child. Some people aren't having any. So the labor force problems we're about to have, y'all, are going to be going on for decades. This is not going to resolve itself. It's not going to resolve itself anytime soon.
Yeah, people are complaining about Walmart. Oh yeah, Amazon and Walmart, they work us really hard. They don't give us a lot of breaks. Guess what doesn't take a break? A robot. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna keep those numbers moving and it's fine, right? They were talking about they won't share the exact numbers of the turnover numbers, but they said the first year after the Brookville's facility became automatic, there's no employees left. Do y'all understand that? Like they had just one facility, right? They had an investor tour. They had it showed a few people on the distribution floor. Walmart basically wouldn't tell them the overall head count. They're like, "Oh, it's still the same." Well, then now a year later, there's no employees in the actual. There's none. There's no employees left in that warehouse. So when Walmart says numbers don't change, are they telling the truth, or did they hire a few more part-time people in the store and say, "Oh, our overall numbers didn't change"? But think about it. He said Walmart may need fewer people to unload pallets at the warehouse, but more people to deliver online orders to customers' door.
Yeah. Now, one thing at Walmart that would still be needed here that they pay you $8 an hour for is the stock. They haven't defined yet on how to have a robot unpackage, like the palletized stuff to take it out. They would have to have people to do that, but everything else, stock the shelves and stuff. But otherwise, everything is pretty much automated. They don't really need many people, y'all, for a lot of things anymore. So the days of working simple task jobs and working a minimal job, saying I'm gonna make $15 an hour, and so many words as Erica has stated and said it. Being comfortable is over. You're in for the fight of your life right now.
And it didn't have to be this way. And again, there's a good 2 to 4 year window. And people keep saying, "Well, Erica, everybody can't be a landlord. Everybody can't own property. Everybody can't." And I get it. I get it. You're going to have to invest your dollars somewhere, either stock market, small business, somewhere, right? Loan, hard money lender. Like people are like, where do money lenders come from? They're literally a person who has 100 to 200K, and they invest with someone for returns of 15 to 20% returns on their money every year. That's why they do hard money loans with the construction people, because they know, hey, in nine months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, I'm going to get my money back and 15% interest. They're beating the banks,
Yes.
right? So, but how do they get in that position? They usually have high paying jobs or they own a company. Again, this is something I really believe is going to happen, Dr. Dix. There's going to be a lot of people. They're gonna get in these jobs and they're like, I make 50K a year. I'm living the dream. And the employers in a year or two from now, they're gonna be having them left and right in conferences, educational seminars, online accreditation scoring, and they're gonna be pissed. Because they're gonna be like, man,
Hmm.
they always got me in some type of training. And it's because one, we're getting tax write-offs as business owners. Okay. And on the second leg of that, we're getting incentivized to show that we have staff that's well trained. Oh, no need for the AI stuff. Look at our staff, how well trained they are. What is the number one thing people keep saying? If you watch, they said there's over 12 million small businesses to buy in America right now. It's because the owners are using what? Not a lot of technology. They got a lot of people doing old school paper method, pencil and paper to figure stuff out. They got people doing, the bottleneck is them in the business. So when people say, well, how can I automate this stuff? That's what that conversation is about. It's just
Hmm.
figuring out a way to automate a lot of stuff. Like when they come to buy these companies, they're not keeping everybody that started with the company. They're
Hmm.
getting a lot of y'all right out the door.
Yep. And y'all, the good thing about all the stuff that Erica and I talk about and the people that come on the channel, you still have time to prepare. And I'm encouraging people to make sure they're doing that. But please don't think this is going to be like the revolution and the recession that happened in '08. I'll be able to get another job. They're not going to be any jobs unless you have a blue collar skill set or white collar skill set. That's it. You either building America, as I said earlier, or maintaining it. There are going to be very few jobs for people with low skills. That's a perfect analogy. If you have low skills, they really don't have a need for you in the world. You're obsolete. I say that all the time. If you can't analytically figure out how a circle can produce three or four circles, or fix things, or figure out how wiring works, or figure out these other things, you're not going to make it. If you can't figure out how the education system, if you want to help people out, say, hey, they need to gravitate towards this. You're not going to beat the system. The cost of living is high. You're going to need $100,000 minimum just to live. And now people are starting to see that, like, I can't make it off $60,000. They got you comfortable with that. You're going to need all this money to live. And people have even these with your credit and everything. Credit is going to be judged just like your health. They're going to use so many parameters to judge people in the future. Credit, I think it was something Erica might talk about it years ago. I heard somebody's social score, some kind of score they could see, reputable score or something. But the future is here. And if you don't get into high gear, you will not have a job. This is going to pass you by. So all those older people out there, yeah, Isaiah Factor, y'all, that's the thing going. The guy over in Houston. I even said when I did an interview on Wednesday, for those older people that do not want to adapt, they will become obsolete. So if y'all got grandmas, y'all got grandpas, y'all got cousins, you yourself, if you don't want to adapt, you will not make it. I'm telling y'all with everything I have. If you're not willing to adapt right now, you're not going to make it. And I was seeing, and I was wondering, Eric, I saw earlier, they said that 75% of summer travel, NBC, like the nightly news, said all of the flights are full. How are all of the flights full? I know people are using credit cards when nobody's working. The average ticket to go overseas is $1,100. That's a mortgage payment. I just want to know where people are getting money from. Wherever I go, I still see hiring signs. Somebody fill me in on what's going on because PPP money is gone.
Dr. Dick, some of these people, it's really like, I mean, basically, airlines gave out a bajillion flight points. And so people are still using those. And then it's credit. It's a lot of credit because you have, even though we make fun of a firm and stuff like that, buy now, pay later, you actually have that with tickets. When you go on Delta, American Airlines, they ask you, would you like do
Yeah,
payments? Would you like to make
yeah.
payments? I'm like, damn. Now, I'm
I
going to give
bought a
y'all
ticket.
something that happened to me this week. Ever since we've been talking about tech this week, this is the ads I've been getting. Let me just tell you some of the first ones. They have a master fintech and graduate in University of Chicago immersion program, 12 weeks for 10K. Let me tell you the other
Mm,
one. They have a Harvard Business School online. They have now gotten into the certificate program. Why? Because they said 42% of our learners receive a salary increase of 17,000 once they get an HBS online, right? So they several certificates they have, right? Let me go to the other one. Hold on a second. They have a data engineering certificate, right? Because these colleges are now trying to figure out how to compete with what? They're trying to figure out how to compete with all these people getting certificates and getting through the door. They want to still be relevant. So again, they have 6 months online professional certificate in data engineering. Okay. What's the other one? Now they have one from Wharton. Okay, if anybody know the school of Wharton, it costs you 100 grand even to go there a year plus, more than TCU, right? So now it says learn about the world of private equity from the most trusted name in finance. Sign up for the next cohort. It's Wall Street Prep. See, this originally was just only for kids in New York. Now it's Wall Street Prep online. It's 8 weeks online, tuition $5,000. You get a private equity certificate program. Now people gonna say, Erica, why would anybody care about that? That does Who would get these certificates? Wharton is one of the top prestigious schools. If I was someone who lived in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, DC, I would get this Wharton private equity certificate. I was thinking about doing it this week, and I'm like, dude, people go work for these private equity companies. They know they're coming in the door at 90,000, 100,000, 110,000. They know they are. So even colleges are now trying to get your attention on Facebook, online. Hey, just come get this certificate. Why are they doing that? One, they're trying to stay relevant, and two, they know these companies keep trying to, hey, I need a fintech person. I need a private equity person. Now,
Mm-hmm.
why am I bringing this up as why you need more tech? Why do you need more tech? Why do you need more certifications? Why do you need to go ahead and get some more degrees? Stack some information up on your mind. They just had 400,000 people cross the Darien Gap between Colombia and Panama. Um, Essentially, they've seen 250,000 migrants cross the roadless, jungle-clad route in 2022, trying to make their way to the United States. Now, if you got somebody who's willing to climb through a jungle, they know how to
Mm-hmm.
build roofs. They know how to build a home from the ground up. They usually do a lot of transportation. That's what a lot of South American folks do. What are black people doing? Black people do a lot of transportation. And you
Mm-hmm.
can already see that industry is very Latino now and
Mm-hmm.
foreigners. Okay. What is another entry level? Construction, windows, roofing, right? But who's doing all the roofing? Who's doing all that stuff? This is why when people say, well, Erica, I don't think I need to go get any more education. I just need to get some skills, or somebody need to put me in a mentorship. What makes them want to mentor you? What makes them want to bring you to their company if they can't even send you for some training? I want y'all to understand what's happening. You got 500,000 people crossing the jungle through Panama, and when we were in Panama, there were places there where they were like, "Oh, we don't let them work." It was Venezuelans standing out panhandling. I said, "Damn, there's a lot of Panamanians homes." They're like, "Oh no, not Panamanians. These are Venezuelans passing
Oh wow.
through, getting enough money to pass through to get to America." Think about that.
Well, yeah.
So
Why we?
again, while y'all arguing about, oh man, I don't need to do this. Listen to me. Somebody that's gonna come here, baby, they gonna crawl through all that. Listen, there's another certificate I meant to say. University of Chicago. It's called Corporate Financial Strategy. Learn how to raise and allocate capital for optimal financial management. Tuition 2,500, 8 week course. Why do you think they're doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Because these schools know you trying to figure out a way to get in the door. They're gonna get some of that money. They like, I know you need to get your skills up to keep this job.
Yeah, and a lot of those certificates are not long. Just imagine if you had like a bachelor's degree and you got that certificate. And I've stated to people, a master's degree is going to be the basic requirement in the future. Just what Erica thought. I can't remember the amount of immigrants we had last year, but think about all the people coming to America. I want to ask everybody, how are you going to compete with somebody willing to climb through a jungle and swim miles to get here? People are going to hire those people. Do you know their drive to get a job or to start a business? If they're willing to go through all that, they're going to be your boss. And then you're going to say, how they beat me to the punch. No, you're sitting up here playing around worrying about the Freaknik documentary that's about to come out, and you're not thinking about anything serious. One thing I've noticed about a lot of people, they are more reactive instead of proactive, and life is very serious now. The recession is going to get worse in the fall of this year. So all of y'all out here that's traveling, the summer, I'm telling you, this fall and this winter, how this world is just tankering and just on teeter-totter, and I think that's what they call it. You don't have the skill set. Companies are laying people off. I saw something earlier where a company was laying somebody off. They laid off like 8,000 people. Yeah, David Bridal lay off 9,000 people. You got a bridal store laying people off. People just aren't getting married. People now don't even get dresses. They just go to the courthouse or what. But I want people to think about the world. Gas is going to continue to get higher. OPEC, I don't think nobody, I've asked people about that, Erica. They didn't even know OPEC stopped producing 1 million barrels of oil a week.
Oh
They cut
yeah,
production.
it's crazy right now. I'm literally pivoted and invested into a few oil rigs coming up here in a few weeks because of what OPEC's doing and because they chilling. They straight chilling. Listen, y'all don't understand. You cannot. People are like, oh, Russia has sanctions. Russia was debt free. The pipeline that blew up going from Germany, from Russia to Germany, the Germans don't play. They pissed about that pipeline because they had no. Russia has no incentive to blow up that pipeline, and neither do they. It's billions of dollars. They know it's in America. They're like, America, y'all did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Russia's debt free. So when people act like we're gonna do all this to Russia, no, you're not. You can't do that to a debt free person, right? So again, Dave Ramsey has some points, but I want you to understand that we operate in a country that operates on debt. So it's like, again, like everybody's like, oh, I'm debt free. Yeah, you're debt free, but what's your skills? What's the income you're going to be working to produce? A lot of people are trying to figure out how can I just go live in the country like a hermit? You still got to pay property taxes. like, like the living in the van trying to get down to zero, that ain't gonna work. Somebody said a
No.
firm been pushing travel for pay heavy. I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, that company came around during the pandemic, and a lot of people are just not paying attention. When y'all travel, you just ride someplace, just look at what's going on. Gas is high. People are hiring. People are out here not caring. They weren't about, I said earlier, a Freaknik documentary. Nobody, I look at the market every day to see the job numbers, not job numbers. I look at to see what's going on in the world because I need to protect myself and get skills up. I think we've all said this before. If you spend, I think Eric, you mentioned it. If you spend an hour a day reading something, y'all, just think about it. You can up your skill set. I think you said it in another stream. Just learning something new.
18 minutes a day for a year, you'll be ahead 90% of people in your field. Music, martial artists, all kind of stuff.
It's so simple. The United States flush the thing. Here's something else. I wrote this down. The U.S. is always wasting money, y'all. Why don't you get some of it? We flush money down the toilet every day, billions.
Mm-hmm.
Get some of the money. They flush money. They burn money. The U.S. has so much money they're giving away, y'all. They don't even know where to have half of it, even damn near going. You can get contracts. You can get money. So when y'all say y'all are broke right now, I don't understand how you're broke when nobody is really doing anything and there's so much opportunity. You could create businesses. When I say a business, I'm just going to go there today, y'all. I ain't talking about no hair. I ain't talking about all that other stuff. Somebody will say, well, Patrick, people need that. Will people need that when we're in a recession? No. They need life skills. They need food. They need transportation. Think about what you're creating and will it really be needed when times get tough?
The biggest thing someone said, I don't know about airlines, but the hiring signs may be false advertising because WJS read a story about various managers. So what that story was about, each sense, which I'll tackle, is there's a technique that some companies have been using. They're trying to grab SEO, right, online. They're trying to get higher up in the rankings. So let's say I put a job, let's say my office is in Austin and I'm hiring remote, but I put job applications in 50 cities. Well, then people are going to do what? They're going to look on that and then going to Google my company, push me higher up in the SEO. But am I hiring that many people? I may be just hiring two. So they're saying
Mm-hmm.
there's some of our false job information because they're just getting more data on people. So I know what you're trying to say, but that came out of SEO techniques. Someone said, I'm 61. I earned my BS in cybersecurity with 19 IT certs. I'm offered jobs on LinkedIn every week. I recently started my IT business in North Austin, Texas, and use AI to create my website. Congratulations, Roger.
Yeah, that's a good. You have a baby boomer. I think 61 is a baby boomer, right? Yeah, that is a baby boomer. Yeah, so you have people out here. Y'all realize how many schools I talk to, since y'all say about education, they said, can you create a class for us? And once you create the class for us, Dr. Dix, you could be the primary person. They say we have so many international students. We don't even know what to do.
I believe it.
And they said we are flooded. We don't know what to do. They said we're trying to hire adjuncts every They schools are trying to hire so many adjuncts and people. Community colleges, I reached out to and said, your skills are in such demand. We're not looking for online right now. I'm telling y'all, it's just sitting here, just reaching out to people, talking to people. Somebody, the older guy, Roger, mentioned LinkedIn. Excuse me, same thing on LinkedIn. LinkedIn to me is like the new recruiting forum, the new job recruiting.
Yeah.
All you gotta do
Recruiters
is
go on
reach
there
out.
every day, be real lazy, type in certain things they're looking for.
Yep.
Even here, Ted says if you're traveling, at least have some backup funds and credit cards because people be traveling broke. Do you know, Tez, when I see people running through the airport like for their life, I be like, damn, did somebody mama die? What happened? There's going to be another plane. I mean, I told y'all about the black woman that had to get restrained at Atlanta. So we're flying in and she got a badge on. I'm thinking, okay, this is an important lady. She got to get somewhere. And she's like, I got to get to my job. I got to get to Baltimore. And I was like, well, ma'am, there's like 6 flights a day to DC. You're fine. That
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I want to get back to my job. Man, I look at her badge. It was nothing but some damn admin stuff. And I'm like, she done caused a scene that they done got security up there. I was like, ma'am, now you really ain't gonna get to your job on time. Now you
Well,
really gonna have a problem. Do you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times people are traveling with no money. So they running through the airport, they sleeping on the ground at the airport, they doing what they gotta do, which is fine when you're 19 to 22. But when you 45 with 5 kids trying to figure out how y'all can get on a standby, that just ain't gonna work, baby.
um,
A little better pants, a
I
little bit better.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest and say this. I will be 39 years old next month. I was born in 1984. I'm going to be honest and say, if you were born at about 1970, that means you were born at 88. You were 18 years old. Technology was there. Anybody to me born after about 1970 do not have an excuse not to have some kind of trade or college degree. Because either way you look at it, you graduated high school in 87, 88, technology was here. If you were born in the year 2000 or afterwards, you don't have any excuse. I'm telling y'all, I'm being honest. I meet people my age, I don't have a high school diploma. You graduated high school in 2001 or two. How in the hell you were born in the 80s, at least 90, you were at least graduated high school from at least 98 to about 2002. How in the hell you don't have a college degree or a blue collar skill?
They ain't
You
been think
thought you
about
were,
it. They was on coast the whole time. They ain't thought about it. Someone asked, "What is?" I see the certificates from the schools, but what's the RI? So really, if you pay attention, if you go to some of these alumni events in Chicago, some of these events for Wall Street, some of these capital companies, having that, oh, I went to Wharton, and the Wharton, dress and suit and go to some of the alumni parties. That's pretty much how you get your foot in the door. That's why when you hear people like Grant Cardone, like, oh, my daughters can only go to 3 schools, and he was like, Harvard. Was it Harvard? Columbia and Brown or something like that. He just picked 3 Ivy League. He's like, one, I know my daughter's gonna be dating people whose children have money. Two, I'm gonna be able to get in the room with other business people because of it. And three, that just puts my daughter in a better standing. And so people don't realize there's a different level game. So when people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter where you got your degree from," it don't matter. Like it does. A lot of these alumni events, a lot of these networking events, that's where that foot in the door comes from. Um, let's just go ahead.
well, with the people I know, you do not get access to certain people unless you could own a HVAC company and people is acceptable, a blue collar skill or something. People don't realize you just can't go up to people in your mid 30s saying, that first thing will say, you're in the military? No. What have you been doing with the rest of your life? Until the guys out there that say, I want to find other women and date women of other races. Y'all ever notice this? If you date a woman of another race, they never get the top tier women because you don't have the educational skill set. If you want to date interracially, as we call it, you got to have something to bring to the table. People, you got to do something. What are you going to do? It's 2023. You can't wing this thing. I mean, I don't get people. Social media, being on the internet all day. What are you going to do? 20 years ago, that was, you could have winged this stuff, but you can't work in no grocery store. You can't work in no retail store. You can't wear Gucci and all this stuff and you don't have no money. I mean, your household, to be honest, y'all, if you got 2 kids and you married, you need at least $250,000 just to take care of that whole household. Being dead honest, that household needs to bring in $250,000+. Somebody could sit here and argue and put it in the chat. But how high stuff is to make sure you're living comfortably and to at least be able to live in a a low crime area, you're gonna need $250 a year plus. How you gonna make it? y'all, some people can comment in the chat, but I'm just seeing things and people's expectations are so low. Well, we can make 100,000 together. I said, you got 24-year-old kids. The lady I know told me her stepson graduated from Georgia Southern with a mechanical engineering degree and got a job offer for $84,000 at 23 years old. Please,
I keep telling people, how y'all gonna compete with people that are starting off early and getting married younger? Now the marriage rates, people are like, oh, nobody's getting married, but the marriage rates are for uber religious and young people, and then people in their 50s. So there's that middle gap where I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all better figure it out. Now let me show you this video because Brandy said recruiters on LinkedIn offer your job when you're not looking. This is true. And then she said people in 7th grade start preparing their kids. Now here's perfect. I wanted to share this with y'all. Make sure y'all can hear it. Okay, here we go.
To learn a lesson. Money don't get you everywhere, bro. It's elite schools out here.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Some of the top private schools in America happen to be in Atlanta. I'm thinking, shoot, I'm gonna go up here and pay. Nah, like I'm gonna pay. It's $40,000 a year. Cool, I could pay it. We in there.
Yeah.
Kids can go to the best school. No, Playboy. They got to test in. They got to take tests, and then they got to do an interview. All right, got money, don't worry about it. Nah, I didn't know that I was supposed to get a training and have somebody prepare my daughter for this test and this interview to answer the questions properly. I didn't know. She got denied.
That's crazy.
I'm like, what? Bro, we was devastated. My wife looked like we lost a family member, because she was so hurt because we realized that we don't know this private school model. We didn't know that.
Where the hell have you been?
I had to learn a lesson. Money don't get you everywhere, bro. It's elite schools out here.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Some of the top private schools in America happen to be in Atlanta. I'm thinking, shoot, I'm gonna go up here and pay. Nah, like I'm gonna pay. It's $40,000 a year. Cool, I could pay it. We in there.
Yeah.
Kids can go to the best school. No, Playboy. They got to test in. They got to take tests, and then they got to do an interview. All right, got money, don't worry about it. Nah, I didn't know that I was supposed to get a training and have somebody prepare my daughter for this test and this interview to answer the questions properly. I didn't know. She got denied.
That's crazy.
I'm like, what? Bro, we was devastated. My wife looked like we lost a family member, because she was so hurt because we realized that we don't know this private school model. We didn't know that.
Can you hear me? Come back. Can you hear me? Did y'all hear that? Everybody put a 1 in the comments if you heard it. Listen, this is the point of what I want y'all to understand is people think, hey, I got money, I'm gonna just skip all this, or hey, I got a certificate, I'm gonna skip all the headache. There are still gatekeepers. They're still gatekeepers. And so for people to come in here and be like, I'm just gonna make some money and you're gonna have to take me. Nah, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. And a lot of people sitting here, you don't need no college degree. You just gotta be able to do your work. Again, nothing's wrong with 250. Nothing's wrong with starting your own business from the ground up. You digging in deep, you learning on the job. But every single person that is in Apex with me, yeah, y'all see in the pool. You don't need to see me. See to enjoy the pool. Enjoy the pool. Why y'all need to see me? Enjoy the pool. Look at the pool. Here you go. Look at the pool. What people don't understand is even when you start a company, you're going to be learning and growing, even if you want that company to stay alive. So I'm in Apex Entourage. I'm in a couple different mastermind groups where the guys in there are having to put people on staff through college because of stuff they don't know. When I had my office, the last time at my office, I had one young man was like, I'll go through H&R Block learning and QuickBooks training. And I was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And now looking back, I'm like, that would have been the best thing. Just put him through it. Let him be my accountant in office. Let him have these skills. And I just utilize the skills, right? So it doesn't take time away from me. But that's the problem. People think, well, I'm just going to make this money and then I'll be in whatever door I want to. That's not true. That's not true, right? She said people in 7th grade starting to prep their kids for Ivy League. Exactly, right?
Yeah. I've invested $300,000. Y'all know my education, probably like $400,000 with undergrad, doctorate, and master's, and I don't even regret it one bit at all. Yes, the price of a house is attached to my social security number, and I can care less. I'm paying it down or doing whatever, but Even last year with the business I started, y'all, I've spent about $120,000+, and I really didn't make money. And I'm continuing to invest, y'all. When you see me do an interview, I have two PR people that I pay every month. I am learning so much about media. When we talk about investing in yourself, I have to be media trained on how to say things because you can't say it this way. And it's all about investing into yourself. Because, I thought that sometimes you could wing some of that stuff, but no, the young lady told me you have to say it like this. You got to say it like this. You got to keep reiterating. You got to keep reiterating. Sometimes it gets irritating, but if y'all look at my interviews from when I started till now, that is all from training because I pay PR people a good bit of money a month to help me get leads and to help me out with things. I don't know what I would do without it. Most people would try to do it on their own, but like Ericka is saying, you have to invest in yourself. Nobody's going to take you serious if you're not investing into the product you believe in. And that's how I'm able to get leaps and bounds over people because I'll pull my Amex card out and say, what does it cost? What does it cost? I need to know. I need to know. Help us
That's
out.
the
Help us
compound
out.
effect.
Yeah.
It's just the compound effect, right? Someone in the chat said, advise a 17-year-old to prep for college or be open to another path. What are the odds of success for an average dude? Let me just tell you, there's nothing out here for nobody average. Nothing average inspires anybody. This is what I tell you. If you're 17 and you can, because college can be free while you're in high school, and you take 6 months of certifications, 6 months of whatever, pick a trade, something that interests you, and now you have that 6 months. And we got that certificate, 6 months to a year. Well, now let's say you say, Mom and Dad, I want to travel for a bit. I want to ride around. I want to go ride the train in Europe. Cool, no problem. No problem. As long as you're not going into a ton of debt to do it. Okay. And then at that point, when you come back, again, LinkedIn, having what you've already done on that LinkedIn post is going to get your foot in the door. But a lot of people, got to go to college early. Like the thing about college is, yeah, you can go at 19. You just got to you're adding time on the backside. That's all. If the average person staying for 5 and 6 years, you know what I'm saying? When you're 17, you want to take a few certifications, see what you like, see what type of job you like, or any work in the workforce if it's worth it. That's one thing, right? So there's a lot of people I think could go back and just get trades and be just fine. Plumber said, no way. I have 2 technicians working for me making $125K and complaining every day. There's a level of complaint with blue collar work that cracks me up. Plumber payday. At the end of the day, they're not going nowhere. Where are they going? No. Unless they want to start their own thing, which they don't, because then that means they have to get the leads and fulfillment and do all that work. He clearly doesn't know how these private schools in Atlanta operate. Yeah, he just didn't know. He did not know. That's the key, right? Where someone's sitting here telling you, yeah, I got money, it's cool. Yeah, but he didn't know. He didn't know.
Yeah.
He was at 5 to get better connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that is true. You do have to have technical people. I just want y'all to know, if you work hard to get into the right kind of social circles, I'm not talking about with your homegirls and your homeboys. When you get in touch or get around the right people, y'all, your life can change. I can tell y'all from some of the circles, and it's not even money. It's about knowing people, your image, and people knowing who you are. When I talk to people and I talk to them about my dad went to the Vietnam War and got drafted, and my granddad was a farmer, and they can look up stuff about myself, it shows you're a legit person. So about who you know is very, very important. Just think about if people were to, this is a good thing, if people were to Google your name, what would come up? I want people to think about that. If it's a bunch of thought photos, you tricking, you having fun. If you spent more time in your life having fun right now, you are some of the people that are really crying right now because now you're seeing, I can't go back to school at 40. I got 4 kids to take care of. And then those same people, Ericka, are thinking about, I should have took my ass to college at 18 or 19 when I ain't had all these kids. Having fun in life is catching up with a lot of people. And there's no other way to say it. You're reaping what you sow. I'm not trying to be mean on people, but I'm just telling you, when you got like a 23-year-old getting $84,000 a year because they got a mechanical engineering degree, and if they become a PE and get a master's degree, they making almost $200,000, and they're not even 30 years old yet.
Again, it's just it's the math. Somebody's making 100K at 21 for 10 years. They done made a mill. You got Bob and Shelly who done made 30K every year for the past 10 years. They done made 300,000. So you're experiencing different parts of America. People say you got people their children on a wait list while they're pregnant for these prescriptive schools. Yeah, that's the thing. Continuous education and training, it doesn't stop. It really doesn't. What's funny is I have a client who bought a tax franchise for tax repair, like doing people's taxes. And he's like, "Yeah, pay 10K. They got all the website up. They got all this stuff set up. Now I got to find two girls who I can keep sending and being educated and training and get them up to snuff." And people don't understand that. Like now you're out here hiring people for personality and then putting them through training, right? Somebody said his technicians are living above their means. Probably.
But the
Um,
thing about a plumber, but a technician in a blue collar job, y'all know they could go to any city. Plumbers and electricians and HVAC guy people are needed. Oh, the summer's about to come up. Y'all know the HVAC companies about to make a killing, and y'all forgot about the commercial. Y'all know Kroger or Kmart, whatever grocery store you live near, they cannot let the refrigerators go down in the store. That might be $500,000 lost of merchandise. So if you are a HVAC person that does commercial and you do residential, I know you should be a millionaire. They make a killing. Easy. Just keep learning how things evolve. That's it.
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can
Okay,
hear
cool,
you.
cool, cool, cool. Someone said, just read nearly 40% of adults who went to college regret their choice of major. And it's like, because they weren't going to do nothing with it. They really weren't going to do nothing with it. And then if you force them to go to work, oh man, I can't pay back my student loans at this rate. Whose fault is that? Somebody said, Dr. Dix is right. The free ride is over.
It is. Ooh, it's catching up. Mm-mm-mm.
Somebody said, you got a 4-year window, take advantage. I mean, I really do believe like the next 4 years, you kind of get entrenched of like, two things are happening. A lot of people are just kind of coast. Oh, it's cool. I don't have to do anything. Times are okay. They're stressful, but they're okay. That's the worst place to be. You want to live the next 10 years like you're living? I don't think you do. Right. My biggest thing I tell people is you want to bump up another 30 to 40K a year right now while times are good. So that if you get curled back down, or you have to take a position where you're getting paid less, you're not dying. You know what I mean? Because you've lived on less before. People don't want to hear that part though.
Mm-mm. Nah, they don't.
Even where we're staying in this part of town, the houses here were 100K, 200K, right? Dr. Dixon, they kept going through foreclosures over here where people get older, die, nobody want to take care of the property. Well, now these same houses over here are worth 700,000. And so when you sit here telling people like, and that changed in the span of 10 years, you keep trying to tell people like, there's the argument that I'm going to wait to buy real estate. I'm going to wait to invest in myself. I'm going to wait to do this. That makes no sense. None. Walked into Columbia's admissions department. They certainly allow international students to pay, which they do with no financial aid, but American students have to exhibit economic capacity. That's the facts right there.
It's going to be a crazy world. I know there are a lot of things. Oh, I'll let you say that comment. Oh,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, y'all, it's going to be a crazy world, and it doesn't even pertain to gender, or socioeconomic class, or race. Everybody's going to feel how the world is advancing right now. Like Ericka was saying, right now you should be working and coming up with a plan on how to advance your life every year, because right now you want to know right now most people aren't thinking about it. So in 7 years, I tell people 2030, which is pretty much the target date for when all this stuff is going to sit still. You
And
have
a lot of
it's
boomers
20.
leave.
Yes, y'all, 2030. I don't even know how the world is going to look in 2030, but you have a couple of years coming up right now to 20. Just do it in 3-year increments and say, hey, by 26. I just want people to know by the last presidential election of 2028, that is 6 years from now. The world is going to look different by the time 2030 comes. Just think about that. Just say, hey, by the year 2028, how is this world going to be in 2030? Set in stone, it's over. Because a lot of people want to not pay the high prices over here in America, but you can't go live overseas if you don't have a skill set to where you can work and get the American money and let it what you call it exchange rate or whatnot. But the U.S. dollar is going down. It's taking more money to do things. People, that's a whole nother conversation. But I hope y'all are just taking heed for what we're talking about, and all the people that come on the channel. We're preparing y'all. This Ericka does it herself. All we can do is tell y'all and help y'all out. Hopefully y'all follow the advice.
Man, let me tell you. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Ericka, listen. Drive through, do a road trip through some of these little rural places, some of these little nowhere towns, those parts of South Carolina where it's just dead. It's
It
barely
is.
hanging on. You know, everybody got a little social security check. That's a bad that's a bad spot to be in. Okay. That's why they keep talking about all these little towns blowing up. You know why these little towns blow up? Because people who can work remote keep moving further out, or they're trying to make a bridge to their parents and where they at now. Y'all, just I'm telling y'all. Listen, somebody said they will never leave. Also, those swimming through those jungles will jump in and work for more than half of that, and will also work holidays. Yeah, these people coming through a jungle. All you gotta do is act like you got some sense and pay your property taxes and live well. This is why Hispanic wealth went up 13% because people are like, where the data on that? I showed you. The government literally has been tracking it. Their wealth went up in the past 4 years, 13%. You know what from? Mostly buying a home. Buying a home, making that choice. But
Mm.
our people like, oh man, I need to be downtown. Oh, the traffic. Oh, that's a lot of driving. They give you all these excuses. They lived here their whole American life. It's crazy. Blue collar doesn't equal lazy. This is facts. Not intelligent unless you're average Pookie. Yeah, I've been on the phone with one young man, and he impressed me so much. I mean, he was getting 2 and 3 different certifications, electrical, plumbing. He was doing several things. He's not smart. He's not slow. He's very smart. And he's like, I know the place to get more money is me start a company. I said, listen, if you want to start a company, it's that 1 2 3. You're gonna have truck wrapped, someone answering phones, and other people you can put underneath you that are gonna be able to be trained. So
Mm. That's a good thing to get the certs in those fields because he could become a master electrician or plumber anywhere. They're always building stuff. They're always building and fixing stuff. So plumbers, all your blue collar people, man, they got to build freeways. Drafting. You can learn. You could be a drafter. People don't realize you don't have to get in a big 4-year debt. Go get a 2-year degree in drafting, architecture. They're always designing stuff in the world. Just there's so many possibilities. So I just see a world of so much opportunity. And I know everybody doesn't see like I see, but this is the time right now. There's going to be no other time in American society right now. They're going to be millionaires in the next 5 to 7 years. I plan to be one. That's why I'm working hard now and listening to what Ericka says and investing and doing stuff. But once this stuff settles down, y'all know we're gonna have a lot of millionaires. And they're gonna be some 19 and 20-year-old kids. They're gonna be young kids that are millionaires because they took the advice and knew what to do with it.
yeah, I mean, they can skip a lot of steps. And so here's the thing. I always give a little grace. Our people weren't exposed to stuff. Again, this is that tightrope we have to walk. Oh, Ericka, you don't understand. When I was coming around, it wasn't that easy. They didn't give out loans like this. The information wasn't widely known, Ericka. Like a lot of that. And I'm gonna give you 2 minutes of grace. But if I ask you what you've been doing the past 5 years, right? All that can be applied. But what have you been doing the past 5 years? Have you got pre-approved for a mortgage? Have you cleaned up your credit and sent the information so easily everywhere? These same people like, well, information's online. Okay, why haven't your life changed? If information online for free is everywhere, how come you're still in the same place you are? Right? Even Charlotte Holmes said, if you're in a video game, if you sit still for too long, what happens? They run right over you, right? And so a lot of times I'm sitting here trying to get y'all to understand that like adding a little bit of information each year does nothing but improve your life, right? A lot of people have parents in their 50s, 60s, and 70s having to work, back hurt, knees hurt, everything hurt because they don't have a plan. But now that can't be the same excuse, right? When you got this computer and you can figure out a way to either have your mom work for you or get her in some real estate or take her retirement and invest in something so she doesn't have to work that hard. I mean, this is where that whole I didn't know and it won't that easy when we were coming up. That's those excuses are over. Y'all on the radio all day, y'all on them cell phones all day. You can look up the same information we looking up. That's what I'm
Everything.
saying. We coming to a head in the road where they're like, why y'all ain't getting it together? Why y'all ain't got it together? Again, a lot of people have learning disabilities. That's why YouTube be popping like it pop because people can just listen to a news article. Same way you listen to news articles, you can learn how to fix things, how to make things, and you can also do what? Figure out where you need to still apply yourself in the future.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no excuses anymore. Oh, you're not going to be able to give excuses. You're going to be homeless. That's what's going to happen because your rent will go up to $2,400 a month. What Ericka and what we try to get people to realize, oh, my rent $1,975 is $1,975. Get prepared for your rent for the rest of your life if that's what you want to do to be $200 to $2,100 a month. 15 years ago, rent $1,000 was normalized, but no. This is no. You need $2,000 a month for rent. That's what we're here. Even in a shitty house, as you call it, like a
Well, look, Dr. Dix, my computer is about to die out here. The sun's cooking it, even though we're under this shed.
yeah.
Listen, you guys, I love doing this content. It is nothing but a blessing to me, and I hope it helps change some of y'all lives. Y'all send me so many great like testimonials and video reviews. I really appreciate it. All the people that sent video review testimonials last week, we'll be getting a call coming up scheduled this week. You guys, it's like now or never. Not even trying to be funny, not like a scare tactic, but like there's this 2 to 5 year window right now where people are like, man, things are really hard. And when is retirement? What retirement? You see, the average person who's in their 60s and 70s is still working because they don't have a
Mhm.
plan. So my strong suggestion to you is one or two things: get the income up really high, pay off all your debt, make a plan from there, or one, get the income up really high so that you can invest in other things. Dr. Dix, tell them where they can find you on the internet before the computer dies.
Instagram, King of Automation. Reach out to me, and the Calendly link is in there for consultations. And Dr. Patrick Dix. I appreciate new followers. I finally got over 1,000. And y'all, my YouTube page. I go live and release videos. So reach out to me and find me.
Love it, love it, love it. It's good information, you guys. This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, enjoying the sun, toasting out here by the pool. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here for the show. We have another show a little bit later today on flipping phones and how that guy is making so much money doing so. There's a little bit of hustle muscle out here for everybody if you get focused. All right, Dr. Dix, thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Peace.